Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litza and this is Coco, and today we're doing the hashtag Spring Fling 2023 tag. Our friend Sam at Manfors Makes, hey Sam, hey Mike, hi kiddos, tagged us about a week ago, so I thought it's best we get it done today and upload it for you to see, hear what our answers are, and just join in the fun because it's going viral. Everyone is doing it. So thank you so much, Sam, for tagging us. Let's get on with it now. Now, Coco is going to have a snack and sit on my lap for part of it. Let's see how we go. It is funny though, because there are 10 questions to answer, and as I was doing them, I was thinking, hold on, we're going into autumn here in Australia, but of course I'm going to join in. So let's begin. I will be putting my glasses on so I can actually read the questions out to you, and I will list them all in the description box. So if any of you want to join in and want to answer in the comments, please do so. I would really love to hear some of your answers as well. Coco's got some of her chicken, as always, one of her favorites. So let me just pop one in her mouth as we're answering our questions. So question number 1, what do you like to do in the spring that you can't do in other times of the year? So this time of the year, and I'm sure that it's, not just unique to Australia, because it is all around Australia, but here we have flower festivals. So one of the most popular ones is Floriade. I'll just show you a little photo on my iPad. I'll try to balance it while I'm holding Coco. As you can see, there are so many beautiful flowers, and in the background, and I'm sorry if I'm not holding it up very well, there's also some rides as well, and it's a big, huge festival which runs for about a month. I believe it's I actually have written down the dates for this year, mid-September to mid-October. So this year, anyone that's interested that, is local or would like to come from interstate, it runs from the 16th of September to the 15th of October, and it's held in Canberra. So that's one of the nicest festivals that, you can go to if you love flowers. It's a great opportunity to see them. And another one that's quite local to me is the tulip. It's called Tulip Time, and it's in Bardwell. Let me just bring the other gorgeous photo up for you as well. Anybody that loves tulips, and look at all those amazing colors. It is a great opportunity to go. Now this one, as I said, is held in Bowral. The time that the festival runs for is a little bit shorter. It's from the 17th of September to the 2nd of October, scheduled for in 2023. Now, for those of you that are wondering, we usually make a day of it. We drive out. Canberra is a little bit further, so, you leave a little bit earlier. It's about 3 hours away. Bowral is only about an hour and a half. We get to stop along the way and have some beautiful food along the little country towns. And then when we get there, there's always a whole heap to do. Like there's rides and there's activities and displays, so there's always something happening other than just looking at the beautiful flowers. So that's something that we like to do in the springtime that we don't usually get to do all year round. So that's question number 1 done. Number 2, what is your favorite springtime flower? Now mine is a flower that grows on a tree, the jacaranda tree. Now, it's not purely because the jacaranda tree has beautiful lilac to purple looking flowers. It's actually one of the most beautiful trees, and they're huge, and you can see them from the distance wherever you are because they line the streets and gardens everywhere. And when they start to bloom in spring, I'll get that for her in a moment. When they start to bloom in springs, they stand out so much because they're surrounded by all the greenery. So they're absolutely gorgeous. And I want to read this to you because someone described when the flowers fall down, because some people say that they are a little bit messy because they do litter the ground with all their flowers as they're dropping. But someone actually had written a little blurb, and they described it as, the flowers fall on the ground like purple rain. I think that's just so poetic and so beautiful. I just love looking at them. They just make me so happy. They don't flower for very long though, so they're from late October until the end of November. So you have that window of time in spring to really appreciate and enjoy them. Coco is just looking for more chicken, but her little container is empty, so she needs to make do with what she's got in her belly for now. So that's question number 2. Question number 3, what is your favorite thing about spring? Now, my favorite thing about spring is that it's pretty much near the perfect temperature. So generally it's between 24 and 25 degrees Celsius, which equates to 75 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit, which of course is not too hot and not too cold, but just right. So that's something that I really enjoy about spring, because most of you have heard me say on many occasions it's way too hot for me in summer, and winter is fine for me, but spring is just that right balance. Question number 4. What is the weather like in your area? My area is Sydney, Australia. For those of you that are maybe newcomers, otherwise most of you would know that that's where we live. So here we're very, very lucky. The weather is pretty nice all year round. Even our winters aren't that very cold here. We do get some cold snaps and some rain, but the spring weather is just beautiful. It's sunny with a nice cool breeze generally. And of course we do get rain, but it's not like that sticky, humidity rain. Like the weather doesn't turn into that when it rains in spring. So I don't mind if there is a little bit of rain in the springtime as well, but generally it's actually beautiful weather. I think I might pop Coco down on the floor. She can say woof woof to you now. Woof woof, there she is. Oh my goodness, all that gorgeousness. I'll just pop her down on the floor now. So that was question number 4. I think she wants the little piece of chicken that I dropped. 1 second, please. Thanks, everybody. Here you go. I think that's what she wanted to hunt for. Okay, so we're up to question number 5. When do you start a garden if you have one? Well, first of all, I am definitely not a gardener, but we do have a beautiful garden that my partner maintains for us. We have a lot of rocks rather than just soil. So we have a beautiful landscape area, and, you know, throughout we've, you know, dotted it with a whole heap of beautiful, lush, native plants, because they're very, very hardy and they withstand, you know, the heat when it gets really, really hot, and they don't mind when it gets very, very wet, because we do have times when it does get very, very wet as well. So, you know, that's a garden that he's pretty much built from scratch, you know, from the ground up, literally. And we do have various heights of all the different plants. I don't really know the botanical names, but I do know that we have the yuccas everywhere. They're very hardy, and you know, they withstand, as I said, all the different weather temperatures. So we do have a beautiful garden, but I certainly can take no credit for it. Absolutely. It's all done by my partner, so thank you very much, darling. We really appreciate the beauty of it. Question number 6. Question number 6 says, now this is going to be a long one, guys, because the question is, do you celebrate Easter? And the answer is yes, we do celebrate Easter. So when the children were young, we were mainly focused on, you know, the Easter bunny and the Easter egg hunt and the Easter egg parade, you know, even the hat parade at school. So it was very much focused around that with the children. But we've always kept the traditions alive as well, because we are Orthodox. So there is a lot happening in the week of Easter. So it's we have a lot of traditions leading up to, you know, the weekend of Easter, which, you know, we've encouraged our children to keep up, and also when they were little, you know, they came along with us. So I'll just give you a little bit of an outline of what we do just at the end part of it. So on a Friday night, we usually go to church, and around 8 p.m. the priest and like all the altar boys, they carry what represents a coffin, and it's decorated with beautiful flowers, which is done earlier in the day. And then we walk around the perimeter of the church grounds, and sometimes even around the block of the church. But generally, you know, the vicinity, like we go around the church, and that represents that we're in mourning, you know, that Jesus Christ has passed. So it's basically his funeral. So that's what happens on a Friday night. Then on a Saturday night, we get to church as close to midnight as possible. So usually after 11 o'clock we start filling the church, and then we have a midnight mass. at that time we're all holding lit candles, the whole, congregation, all the people inside the church and outside, because it spills out to the outside. We're holding our candles, and then we hear the bells ring, and that signifies that Christ has risen. So we start singing and chanting Christ has risen over and over again for a short time. And then, we blow out our candles, and then we embrace whoever is around us, because it is a celebration then. So then it doesn't matter if it's family or friend or neighbor or someone you've never met before, we all embrace to say, wow, Christ has risen. So that's our Saturday part in the church. But then we go home and we have prepared a mini feast, I call it, because what we do then is we have a light supper of like a soup and maybe some breads and other little things. But we also crack the red or different colored dyed eggs. So basically one person will hold an egg, another person will hold another one, and then we crack them together, and it's just a little fun game that we do, again representing that Christ has risen, and it's part of the celebration. Now, it doesn't end there, the eating. Believe me, the next day we have a massive barbecue or a lamb on the spit. We haven't had one of those for a little while, but the children used to love them when they were little, and it's so much fun because you start very early in the morning and it just goes all day. But whether it's a barbecue or not, we have family and friends dropping in for a big lunch, and then it spills out over the rest of the afternoon and evening because people come and go, and it's a wonderful day. And that, pretty much signifies the end of our Easter period. But what we do as well, which I absolutely love about Easter, is that we do a lot of traditional baking. I wish I had some photos to show you, and maybe at Easter time this year I will be able to show you some on a video. We actually cook we bake cookies. They're actually biscuits, and they come in different shapes, and they're called gulurakia, for those of you that may be interested in knowing what they're called. And then we make a beautiful sweet bread called tsureki, and it's very similar to a brioche. And then it's usually like either in a circle, like you do a plait, and you either form it into a circle or long, and you put a red egg in it as well, and then you glaze it and bake it, and that's part of what we eat as well, after midnight mass and on Sunday lunch. And of course we also dye our red eggs, which are boiled eggs, but you dye them in some, you boil them in some dye. Generally it's red, which is the most traditional color, but over the years, oh wow, we do all the different colors: purple, blue, yellow, orange, green, and then we put little decorations on them, stickers, or some people put leaves on them and tie a stocking around them when they're boiling, so that they have the imprint of the when they take the leaf off, you can see the beautiful pattern of it. There has been, my friend also had glitter dye one year, because the kids love all of that stuff. So that's what we do for Easter. So thank you for listening to my answer, because it is one of my favorite times of the year. Even though we're not a super religious family, we definitely do believe, and also we do love the tradition of Easter. So thank you. Now, number 7, do you crochet anything special for spring? I actually don't crochet anything specifically for spring. Maybe lighter weight clothing, maybe, but I couldn't tell you specifically that I've ever gone out and said, okay, I'm going to crochet this for spring. So the long and the short of it is no, I don't. And then it asks for question number 8. What is your favorite spring color? Now, you all know what the answer is going to be, I know, but I will give you a little bit more of a blurb. So I have to say that my favorite spring color is going to be like a purpley lilac color. And I should have brought all my yarns out, because I've got a huge range of purples, which to me is like, the essence of like happiness. And I just wanted to say that for me, that's what spring is. It's all about color, because all of a sudden we're coming out, like even the fashion and the trees and the flowers, we're coming out of the, the browns and the charcoals and the tans and the darker shades of like blues and the maroney reds. Generally, that's the color theme for the winter period. and then all of a sudden there's bursts of color everywhere. A lot of people, think of spring as pastel-y colors. I certainly look at that palette as well, but just color in general. So I think purple or lilac will have to be my answer for number 8. And now we're up to number 9, and we're getting close to 10. So do you spring clean? Okay, I usually spring clean, but not in the spring. I usually do it over the Christmas New Year break because I'm lucky enough to have 5 weeks off work every single year for the last 15 odd years that I've been working where I am. So I take that opportunity to make sure I do a thorough clean of the house, inside and out cupboards and what have you. But what I do, going from the winter to the summer, so springtime, is I rotate our winter and summer clothes around because we have limited space in certain sections of our wardrobes, and also we don't have the ones that pull out, so I need to move things around, so then that way we have the clothes that we need to wear for spring in the very front, not that at the back. So that's something that I do at this time. So it's not quite a clean, but I do a little bit of rotation of our clothing. And lucky to last, number 10, do you go anywhere for spring break? No, we don't, and we don't actually refer to it as spring break here in Australia, not that I'm aware of, but we do have a 2-week period of like school term, so between term 3 and 4. So if it relates to that, generally we don't really, like the children and, parents try to take some time off to be home with their children and maybe do something. But not really planned that we've got something on for spring break. So that's pretty much it. I've completed each and every answer, and it has been a lot of fun. So the hashtag Spring Fling 2023 tag completed. So I've really enjoyed participating in this. I have been watching other YouTubers putting out their videos, and it has been a lot of fun. I think it's been a great way for us to get to know each other just that little bit more. And as I said before, please feel free to pop in some answers in the comments of any question that stood out to you, or all of them. It's totally up to you. I would love to hear your experiences and what your traditions and what you like to do at springtime. So please feel free to do that. It will be a wonderful way to get to know you even better. So the only thing that I didn't show you, which I've got on my iPad, if you're interested, sorry, I'm going back in time because they are so beautiful. I just saw that I had the jacaranda trees to show you as well. So as you can see, they are so beautiful, and then the ground is littered with littered with all the flowers. Anyway, that's by the by. I just thought I had the photo ready. I should have showed you earlier, but I've done it now, so thank you very much for waiting for that. So I hope that all of you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. And I shall see you all, and Coco shall see you all in another video. Bye-bye, everybody.